Chandrachud saying it boils down to one thing, that Mr. Nitish Kumar, perhaps to protect his own turf in the state, has preempted what Mayank Sinha was calling as Operation Lotus, especially after what happened with Eknath Shinde and Uddhav Thackeray. He did not want to end up as another Uddhav Thackeray, therefore he has done this with one eye on the state. But what I'm not clear about is this national ambition. Today, Mr. Modi is far stronger and far bigger a political brand than he was in 2013-14 before he burst onto the national scene. If Nitish Kumar's personal ambitions could not best Mr. Modi in 2013-14, what hope does he have in 2024?
True. I mean, see, Zakka, Nitish Kumar has all the right to say that he would have a personal ambition, or he definitely has the right to keep or to have a personal ambition to be in the national politics. The point is simple. I mean, national politics, the way it operates and the way things have happened for so many years, the train that starts from Patna also has to cross Lucknow. So it's not that simple. If only Bihar was the state from where a success in Bihar would make somebody a PM, well, then so many PMs would have been there by now. The point is simple. I think the BJP and and Nitish Kumar, or the future allies of the BJP, should keep certain things in mind, and that is why some lessons in political science is a must. See, whenever you have a coalition of sorts, coalitions are nothing else but for political expediency to take care of the situations or of exigencies. So whenever you have such a coalition, when you have a minor and a major together, when you have a major and a minor together, the minor would get disproportionate benefits. But when you have a minor supported by a major, it will always lead to insecurities of the minor, and that is why a coordination committee of a sort is a must. Now, I'm not sure whether there was a formal committee or a coordination committee between the BJP and the JDU, or was it being done with some informal mechanisms? And if there were informal mechanisms, why did they not work out? So I think the lesson is very clear for people in future, and even for the newly formed the political arrangement that has been put in place in Patna, because this will all require the new formation to govern well, because the governance index in Bihar is slipping down, and it's slipping down very fast.
Okay.
So I think
let me go back to Guru Prakash Paswan. The BJP has a problem of perception that the BJP is just not able to retain its allies. It was Akali Dal in Punjab, then Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, and now JDU in Bihar. So across the northern Hindi heartland, as it were, BJP does not have any allies, so to speak. How are you going to deal with this perception problem, particularly going closer to 2024?
Zakka, that is a very interesting question, Zakka, but we must also realize one thing, that in the political lexicon of the country, the word Gadbandhan Dharm, it first came into existence during NDA 1. We don't treat Gadbandhan only as a political arrangement. We treat Gadbandhan as Dharm, Gadbandhan Dharm, as said by Bharat Ratna, former Prime Minister of India, late Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. There was a time in this country when push comes to shove, we had an alliance of 22 political parties.
Yes.
Unfortunately, now we are in a comfortable position, but if time comes, we can obviously have alliance. We have had alliances with ideologically polar opposite parties like PDP in Jammu and Kashmir. We have had alliances with different political parties. But you look at the status of these political parties who have deserted Bharatiya Janata Party only because of the sheer lust for power. What is happening with Prakash Singh Badal in Punjab? Irrelevant. What is happening with Uddhav Thackeray in Maharashtra? Irrelevant. What is happening with other political parties, those who have deserted Bharatiya Janata Party, they have become irrelevant. And the same fate is going to happen to Mr. Nitish Kumar as well, because only for his sheer lust of power, like it was clarified by one of our senior leaders this evening, that Mr. Nitish Kumar wanted to become the vice president of this country. Mr. Nitish Kumar only and only exclusively his politics, his entire permutations and combination is to how to clinch to power.
Mayank Sinha, इसका जवाब दे दीजिए. We have an interview with सुशील मोदी, जो बीजेपी के बड़े नेता हैं, डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर रह चुके हैं और नीतीश कुमार के काफी करीबी भी थे. Sushil Modi has said that Nitish Kumar wanted to be vice president. He conveyed that same message to the BJP leadership. BJP leadership did not agree. इसकी वजह से उन्होंने दोबारा पलटी की है. मयंक सिन्हा.
हम तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में है नहीं, बीजेपी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में, और राष्ट्रपति उपराष्ट्रपति का कैंडिडेट उन्हीं का होना चाहिए. जनता दल यूनाइटेड का कैंडिडेट तो नहीं होना चाहिए था. ना हमने कोई मांग की थी, ना हमने कहीं आके मीडिया डोमेन में बोला था. हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष आदरणीय ललन सिंह जी ने उसी दिन, जिस दिन मीडिया में चला था, आके बयान दिए थे कि राष्ट्रपति और उपराष्ट्रपति के कैंडिडेट नहीं है. पहली बात.
नहीं तो क्या सुशील मोदी जी क्या झूठ बोल रहे हैं? नहीं, मैं सीधा सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ ना. सुशील मोदी क्या झूठ बोल रहे हैं कि नीतीश कुमार की आग्रह थी कि वो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट बने?
ही इज टोटली लाइंग. सफेद झूठ. मैं आपको एक बहुत पुराना वाक्य बता देता हूँ, एक न्यूज चैनल में पहले भी बताया था कि सुशील मोदी उस समय अपोजिशन में थे और आरजेडी सरकार में थी
जी, और
सरकार चला रही थी. तो पटना में एक इंसिडेंट हुआ था. सुशील मोदी गमछा बांधकर बताए कि पटना पुलिस ने मुझे बहुत मारा है, मेरे को 7 स्टिच लगा है. लालू जी बोले कि जाओ उसका गमछा उतार के देखो. तो गमछा जब उतारा गया तो कोई स्टिच नहीं था, एक लाल रंग का पट्टी लगा के उसके ऊपर पेस्ट कर लिए थे.
Okay. Anyway, I don't want the debate to get derailed. I want to go back to Chandrachud Singh and give him the final word. Chandrachud Singh, the question is that this is a political gamble. Perhaps Nitish Kumar's last political gamble, last roll of the dice, as it were. There have been unsuccessful gambles also in the past. In 2015, he joined hands with the MGB. He won the election, but of course, the coalition did not last more than 2 years. What is the guarantee that this time this might be successful? Because this is perhaps the biggest gamble that he has taken.
Well, that is why it's the biggest gamble, because it comes towards the fag or at least the nearing years of his political career. By 2000, the next Lok Sabha election in 2024, he would turn 74 or 73 at least.
Yes.
So therefore, there's no guarantee for anything for that matter in politics, Zakka. But the larger question that perhaps everybody should think about, and that is about coalition. Remember, if coalitions are about dharma, then every dharma also has certain rituals. Remember, Atal Bihari Vajpayee's coalition also had the convenership of George Fernandez. So coalitions would not require major parties to ensure or to see that the regional parties are no longer relevant. I mean, that's not a good statement to make. See, where are they? They are irrelevant.
Okay.
No party can become irrelevant. And in political democracy, particularly multi-ethnic, multi-plural democracy.
Whether Nitish will continue to be relevant politically post-2024 or in the run-up to 2024, he has taken a big gamble with this move. We'll wait and see how it plays out. For the moment, I want to thank Guru Prakash Paswan, Mayank Sinha, and of course, Chandrachud Singh for joining us. But talking about political upheaval and political developments, it's not just Bihar. In Karnataka now, after the Congress called the incumbent Chief Minister Basaraj Bommai a